I am absolutely thrilled to welcome you back to the shop. It's going to be a wonderful, sparky, dusty, awesome, steely day here. I have quite a pile of different materials that will be turned into bottle openers and mini pocket Prybars and keychain Prybars. So, I have this guy here. This is just a little scrap of Damascus, but it will be a keychain bottle opener and Prybar combination. I have two of those pieces. So I have this nice piece of Mokume Gane. This will be a nice Prybar bottle opener hybrid as well. And I have this larger piece of Damascus here, and it is going to be this. It's going to be a real, true, I guess what I would call like a bartender's bottle opener. It's a quarter-inch thick, so I can forge out the ends to meet up with the dimensions that I need here to fit the stencil. And then I have some big old rasps. Now these are mystery steel, so I don't like to make knives out of them anymore. I have made a couple knives in the past, but I think that these will be a lot more fitting as bottle openers and pry bars, simply because I don't know exactly what steel these are. Sometimes they are not steel that is exactly perfect for use as a knife, so I don't like to use mystery steel for knives. So I want to thank you if you're a returning watcher for all of your continued support. It really helps me to continue doing all the crazy projects out here in the shop. And if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel and keep doing all of these crazy awesome projects. So this pile here is ready for the belt sander. It is the correct length I want them. All of these are too long, so I'm either going to cut, like this pile I will cut in half, this pile I will cut in half, this pile I'll cut in half, and these two piles I'm going to cut into thirds. So I'm going to mark these guys up as to where I want to cut them in half on the chop saw. I'm going to do multiple at a time to hopefully make this go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to get these marked and we'll go get these cut. So now that I've cut all these up, I'm going to set these aside for a little while I forge out this guy. So I'm going to light the forge. I have a couple of key parts of where I need to punch and forge out a little bit. I have those marked here. So it's time to throw that piece of Damascus in the fire and forge it into a really, really awesome bottle opener. Alright, so I have it all cooled off here, and I'm just going to mark where I need to remove the excess so that I can grind that off, go back into the forge, and finish widening out the last couple places that need to be just a little wider. I'm just going to mark these, jump on the grinder real quick, then back into the forge. Alright, so I have you back over here at the workbench. We're going to test etch this piece. There we go. This is now ready for heat treat, and that will help bring out the contrast even more. So now that these are all cut up, I am going to clean up all of the edges where there is burrs and just anywhere that I cut with the angle grinder. It leaves a very rough finish, and I want to clean these all up. I'm going to leave the texture on the sides here, but I'm going to clean this up. So, on these guys, I'm going to grind down the teeth on this side just because they are very, very pokey. And I don't want this to catch like a fingernail or, you know, even just catch your skin. It could cut you. These are still pretty sharp. So, I'm going to do what I did to this one and just kind of take the tops off all of them. And that just makes it to where it's not going to catch you nearly as easy. So in all these right here, they are just going to be, they're just intended to be bottle openers, so I will mill in a little slot in each of these so that they have a bottle opening slot, and I'll show you how I do that in just a minute. These larger ones are going to have one end that is kind of like a pry bar, very much like this. This one in the Mokume Gane, a little pry tab on there so you can kind of pry stuff, scrape stuff. These are going to have essentially the same thing. These will have a bottle opener tab as well, opposite of the pry bar end, and they will also have a small hole so that they can be put onto a lanyard, or you can even have them on a keychain. So, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the drill press. I'm going to drill a bunch of holes. I'll show you how I turn those holes into the little bottle opener tabs. So, this really amazing Damascus bottle opener is out of the temper. It is wonderfully straight, and now it is time to finish grind so that I can do the etch. So on the other bottle opener pry bars, I just want to show you guys how I turn the hole into the bottle opener. You can do this with an angle grinder. You can also do this on a milling machine. It works pretty well in there. You just run the mill diagonally into your workpiece. But I'm going to do this real quick just with the angle grinder. And now I will just clean up the inside here with a little bit of sandpaper, and it will be ready for finishing. Alright, so I have these 3 bottle opener pry bars here. I am now going to grind in the pry bar end, and then it'll be time to move on to finishing. So now I'm going to use some alcohol. I'm going to wipe this down to get all the grease off, and then I am going to get it into some ferric chloride for the etch. And there we go, the etch is done. And this piece is looking absolutely wonderful. I am very happy with how that came out. It's a lot of fun to build this. So for these styles of bottle openers and pry bars, I am going to heat treat them. Now I've said before, this is not, optimal knife steel. I actually don't know exactly what steel it is. So I'm just going to do a standard high carbon heat treat, and then I will temper it back so of course it's not brittle. I know that these are scraps of, this is a scrap of CruForge V, so I know that its heat treat should be for CruForge V. But I'm not really I'm not trying to get them super hard or heat treat them for a knife's edge, just for bottle openers and pry bars. So I'm just going to throw these into the forge, let them come to non-magnetic, and then quench them in some medium oil. So these have been tempered. I just tempered them at 450 degrees for 2 hours. And I've done that twice. And I just kind of clean things up with a wire brush. You can see the logo on the rasp there real well. And this is the obsidian or napped pattern Prybar bottle opener. And this is one of the other rasp Prybar bottle openers, and I am very, very happy how these turned out. So now I'm going to turn my attention to the titanium bottle opener and Prybar and the Mokume Gane bottle opener Prybar. Now these two I'm going to finish up to 320 grit, and then this will get an acid etch, and this I will anodize. So now that the Mokume Gane piece is very, very shiny, I'm going to wipe it down with some alcohol, and then I'm going to dip it in some ferric chloride to really bring out the contrast between these two metals. And there we go. As you can see, the nickel remains very, very bright, and the copper, it's this really dark, it's almost, well, it's a very dark copper color. And there we go. It doesn't change the color too much, it mutes the copper and leaves the nickel very, very shiny. And now it is time to anodize the titanium one. And so this is just a simple anodizing bath, really simple. I don't use it a whole lot. So this really is just it's a milk jug cut in half with some aluminum foil and some borax solution in there. It's hooked up to my DC power supply up in the cabinet. I have some titanium wire. You want to use titanium wire so that there's no other reaction, because if you have a reactive wire, something like copper or steel, it just doesn't work as well and you get weird results. And get all the oils off with this bottle opener. And the water. And I will connect my lead to the wire here. Once I'm ready, I'm going to get the power supply on. So I'm not sure exactly how much was caught before my memory card filled up, but this is the titanium bottle opener and Prybar. It's kind of a bluish purple. I really, really love it. Looks really wonderful in person. And here are the others. We have the Mokume Gane. This one is CruForge V. And then these two are both types of rasps. I kept the logo on this one, and I did check all of these. They all work wonderfully, so I'm really, really happy with how those turned out. So I want to thank you for continuing to watch all of the crazy awesome stuff I do out here in the shop. It's been such an amazing time making these bottle openers. I do have the pile of all the others that I had cut out that are ready to be finished. I just thought that I would make this video not quite so long by shortening it up a little bit and not making you guys watch me make 35 others. I'm really excited with where these are going. I love the ones that I have finished. They will be available for sale. And I want to thank you for your continued support. If you're new, please like and subscribe. It really helps me to grow the channel and continue doing all the awesome stuff I do out here in the shop. You can check out my social media. It is down below in the links in the description. And I want to thank you guys one last time. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next episode of Let's Make a Knife.